I feel so many women today, they just try to move on and move on and move on and go from one to the next and whatever. That's, first of all, it's not love. Hello, I'm Manuela from the Halkins Health Clinic, and I want to talk to you about falling in love and falling back out of love. So I don't know about you, but I had my share throughout my lifetime of falling in love and falling back out of love. And in particular, I'm talking to the ladies online. I don't have any experience how it feels for the guys, but so from a female perspective, and who knows, maybe some guys want to watch this too to learn how we girls deal with certain things, okay? But the way it was always for me, I can fall in love fairly easily. And then when the relationship goes downhill after a couple years, and I'm not talking falling in love, every 2 months or something like that. No, I mean a real relationship. Then usually it does take me years to fall out of love. Okay, so, and there's nothing wrong with that, because I just want to put it out there, because I feel so many women today, they just try to move on and move on and move on and go from one to the next and whatever. That's, first of all, it's not love. It's, and if one was true love, you can't just go into another relationship without having healed your inner wounds, or you'll attract similar bullshit, similar patterns, because you haven't changed. You don't know your values yet. You don't know how you want to be treated, how you want to be loved, how to give love potentially. I know it's a dynamic between two people, and yes, you can meet somebody tomorrow and everything changes, but that doesn't necessarily mean your old wounds are healed just because you're with somebody you fell in love with again. Down the road, the same scenario will or potentially can come up. Okay, so the point I wanted to make is it is important to heal your old relationships. And that's why for me, it always took this long before I actually could, truly fall in love with somebody else again. And when and how do I know that I'm over somebody? It's a little tricky question, because sometimes I think, oh, I'm over him. And no, I'm not, because my brain still thinks a lot, processes a lot. My heart processes a lot, and then other things come up. And of course, every relationship is different. Sometimes when we disengage, and it doesn't really matter whether we leave the relationship or whether, he leaves us, and it doesn't really matter, because there is a healing cycle. So some feel more sadness, knowing intuitively that you've reached a place that the vibrational energy has changed, and you both move into different directions. And so this inner knowledge can provoke then the sadness coming out to realize it's ending potentially, and or you have this calling, it's ending. I want something different than my partner wants from the future, basically. So there can be a lot of sadness. Other situations could be, of course, that he sidestepped, or there is abuse going on, or narcissistic treatments going on, and you slowly develop certain other feelings of, maybe even being ashamed being together with such a person, or feeling insecure, like in a lot of abusive situations, the partner is making the mate feeling insecure because you can't do anything wrong in their eyes, anything right in their eyes, pardon me. But it's also, if somebody steps out of the marriage or of the relationship, there can be a lot of anger and resentment and rage. And so there's a whole gamut of emotions that we need to process, and it takes time. And in our treatment, in the Halkens treatment, we do help with that. And I've developed the bliss sessions as well to help with getting these emotions out. But it still takes time. So don't rush and don't be needy, So start being happy within yourself. Find your own boundaries, find your own friendship tribe, find your own hobbies, and go out by yourself. Be okay by yourself and be actually enjoying it. And the moment you start potentially seeing is that if you see other couples, initially you may long to be with somebody or be with your ex, but eventually you will just see them from a difference and from a distance actually, and see how nice it is, and you feel gratitude for them, you be happy for them, you want the best for them. Whether you know them or you don't know them doesn't really matter, but you have the sense of love, the sense of love for the world, the sense of love for them. Good for them that they found their mate. How awesome is that? But that comes also with a sense of self-love, of being authentic and being authentically you in your feminine energy, so embrace the beauty that the feminine energy brings with it, the flexibility, the fun part of everything. And you will know, just like I knew, or I know, and I knew in past relationships, okay, I'm getting better at it, and all of a sudden you're reaching this total gratitude for your ex-partner, total gratitude that you say, my God, that was so amazing that he was in my life, because my life has never been the same ever since I met this person. So if you can reach that state and that gratitude, and even potentially share that with him, that would be the ultimate. If he is still in your life because of certain things, share it in person with him. Share it through a letter, share it through a text message, whenever you reach that state. Or just share it with the universe, and the universe will, take your positive vibe and deliver it. But that is how you know you're actually over somebody. It doesn't mean, though, you feel gratitude and you want him back. That's not what I'm saying. It's recognizing the beauty that you've had together. Because of course, if two people were together for a while, there was something there, so look at after, don't just look at the good stuff while you're processing and healing. You've got to go into the nasty stuff and heal that, and do the bliss sessions and resolve those issues. But at the end, you can actually, like an outsider, you can say, oh my God, we had beautiful times together. But yet, with your new being, in your new feminine, you also know you don't want him back. You do not put up with that energy anymore. You are moving on to a higher power that wants more, that doesn't want to settle for something that was not truly fulfilling. Because anybody who is watching this obviously is not in a truly fulfilled relationship, or you would be watching this. So we have so much gratitude to give to any partner in our lives, to have taught us a lot. We learned so much. We taught them, and all the adventures and all the experiences. When you get to this place of truly cherishing that and not being insecure about who you are, not be feeling guilty about, oh, I could have done this better or that better or this or that. Yeah, you could have potentially. I'm sure I could have, but it doesn't matter because at that time you did the best you could at that time, you know. So some people come as teachers, some people come as lovers, some people come as long, you know, for the long term, as mates. You know, we all interact and meet people for different reasons. But again, I want to come to the first point I made. Don't rush it, because if you do rush it, you're just getting lost in this whirlwind of emotions and this initial neediness and the touching and potentially the sexuality and the intimacy, but it's not real. You know, the real love is long term. And actually, if you do not love yourself fully, completely, you will never attract somebody who is whole in their own masculine energy to be who they are, because you don't want to change somebody. And they sure don't want you to change if they, you know, see you for a year or two and all of a sudden the honeymoon phase is over and old stuff comes up, you know. Learn first, be by yourself, heal your past traumas, and then move on. So don't rush it, okay? And if you do need help with that, by all means, I'd love to hear from you. And follow me on my YouTube channel or on Facebook. All right? I wish you well and hope you're gonna find your true mate. He is out there. I know it.